Hey guys, in this video, we're going to talk about ticker symbol AMD. Now, this TA analysis we're getting ready to do, take with a grain of salt because we do have earnings coming up after market on Tuesday. So February 4th after market, that's when we're reporting earnings here for AMD. So really this whole upcoming week, you got big stocks reporting earnings, and you also have tariffs. You have to worry about retaliations from different countries. So it's going to be interesting to see how the futes open up on Sunday night and then where this week takes us. But for those of you who have trouble doing TA, really AMD is an easy one to do because you can see we have this larger triangle that we drew here. Really, you don't have to worry about that in the near future. What we can do is if we scroll in deeper, just worry about your big hold numbers, right? So we're at 115 right now, almost 116. Worry about your 120s. You can see that's a resistance. It was a support. Go to 125. Here's a resistance. Here's a resistance. That was a support back there. We'll go to 130s. So really just every $5, just use that as a psychological, hey, resistance support, resistance support. It's not really that an expensive stock. You're only at 115. So really $5 moves are huge in there. And if you just take those as your supports and resistances, you can overshoot a couple dollars here and there. But overall, it's really not going to be that hard to kind of chart and do some TA. But really, what do we care about? What do we look at? So long term here, we have the daily open since last year, or I'm sorry, this is since August. But we care about this 9-day EMA. We're currently underneath that, and we have this big expansion in between the 200 SMA, this trend line that we've drawn, and this 9-day EMA down here. Now, everybody on Twitter and stock twits, I'm sure they're going to go back and be screaming, hey, we got a gap to fill in October at 160s. Don't care about that. You have to $50 move on a $115 stock to fill that gap. Don't worry about that at all. We trade here. We do not gamble and play lottos. So don't worry about the 160 gap fill that everybody's screaming about in here. What we do care about, though, is what kind of patterns. Do we have any pattern recognition in here? What's going on with this 9-day EMA that we seem to really can't really expand from? And what I'm seeing is in November, starting in November, you have a 2-day break of the 90 EMA and then immediately go back under. You have another 2-day and then it goes back under immediately. And then you have a 4-day. So if we start in November, we got 2 days over break, 2 days over break, 4 days break. Come down here in December, 2 days over break, 2 days over break. Now we got 4 days break. So we have to figure out what's going on in here. How heavy is this 9-day EMA that we cannot stay above it for more than 4 days? And what is that possible pattern of the 224? What does that mean to us? So we're going to take all of that into consideration with our options chain, knowing that we have earnings upcoming. And what are we looking at in here for the options wise? Well, you have a $10 expected move in here by Friday. All your volume is obviously all over the place in here. AMD, one of the bigger stocks. You can it's like water. You can do whatever you want. Super liquid in here. You have a $12 expected move on your February monthlies. And if you go into your flow, really AMD, the call side, it would got hammered with sweeps and blocks all day today. 125s, 120s, 130s, even the 117s for this upcoming Friday got hammered for about 330, or I'm sorry, $383,000 worth of premium got traded in there on the 117 calls. But we're interested in that May, or I'm sorry, the February expiration date cycle, the strike 125 calls, $638,000 of premium in there, the big block coming in. And that was immediately right after a 120 call sweep came in on this Friday's expiration at around $700,000 worth of premium. So interesting to see in here what's going to happen. You have that 115 as our new support. We're going to see if that holds. If not, we're looking at the 112 area that we have this trend line drawn. Below that, we're just going to start doing every $5 in there. Super simple in here to compute your resistances and your supports going forward. But again, it's all earnings based. We have to see if we can get this crossover, see if we can get out of this 224 pattern, see if we can kind of work our way up, and then hopefully we can get back up to the 130s in here soon. So we'll have to take it with a grain of salt, everything in here because of earnings. All right, guys, make sure to check us out on all of our social media. We also have a Discord service if you are interested, and you can find all of our socials in the description below.